Uh, what is your most favorite brand for swimming apparels?
Speedo and Decathlon. Speedo for competition, Decathlon for practice.
All right. What are your top 3 swimming destinations where you would like to swim or you've already swum before?
I've swum in Menorca in Spain. That's one of the most beautiful places I've been to. Barcelona as well. I swum in Australia. So definitely, I think the foreign water bodies I've enjoyed more. Closer to home, I love the Andamans. Flat, a great place to start your open water journey is go swim in the Andamans.
All right. Okay. What are your thoughts on people who are looking to get started in the sport? Thoughts on starting in the open water versus in pool water?
First, pool water, get proficient, get confident, and do your deep water training also first in the pool, and then you transition to open water. Don't go to the open water directly. You have to have that pool background, and even your training will primarily be in the pool. Only maybe 10 to 20% of your training needs to be in open water.
All right. Swimming is notoriously famous for 8,000, 10,000 calorie consumption when people, pros like you, are training. What were the top 5 foods which you used to consume for piling on these calories?
I would say bananas, tons of them. I don't know how many per day. We would have a lot of ragi malt early morning to give us that sustained energy. And my personal favorite was a lot of non-veg. So chicken, fish, whatever I could have. So the nights when I could go to sleep, get a good heavy dinner in, and then have a nice sleep. So really it's a lot about just eating food that you love. And as much as I love junk food, staying away from some of that. Keep that as a treat.
All right. Okay. 2 milestones which you always wanted to achieve, but you were not able to achieve, or you would want to do that in the future.
So one thing is, of course, going for my second Olympics, which I missed. But on a personal note, right now, you laugh because I help triathletes all the time, but I still don't know how to cycle. I cycled last when I was 5 or 6 years, and I was swimming for so many years. I'm not saying I don't know. I haven't cycled for so many years. So my goal is next year I turn 40. I'm going to run a full marathon, which I'm quite confident of doing. I want to run a fast time, I should say, and I want to at least do maybe a sprint try, because I need to get my cycling up to the level where I can at least do a sprint try. Once I get that, I'm sure I'll be full-time, trying to race, because I'm very, very competitive. I'll say I'm going to go have fun. I never go into a race to have fun. I always go to win, to at least do my best, to really push myself.
All right. What we can do is you can make me a better swimmer, and probably I can guide you a little bit on cycling. Let's do that. A barter, which is live, cannot be taken away now.
Okay, you're right.
All right. What are your top 3 drills for a beginner or to intermediate athlete in swimming?
Yeah, I would say, first of all, a lot of side breathing drills. So when you turn to your side to breathe, you need to ensure that your legs keep kicking. So we do side breathing and side kicking, because people only do normal kick. You turn to the side to breathe, your legs turn to the side as well. So you need to practice the side kick. Another very important one is high elbow, so fingertip drag. Just touching your fingertips to the surface when you're swimming. Just ensures a higher elbow. It stops you from just throwing your arms. Yes, when you go into open water, you will have a little bit of that, but it's good to have, really good technique. It also saves your shoulders, gives you a lot more, stability in your stroke. And the third thing would be to learn how to breathe to both sides, what we call bilateral breathing, because especially in a try, if the sun is on one side, you'll always be comfortable at least to breathe to your non-dominant hand whenever you need it, or you want to see where your competitor is, you want to sight, you want to look for a buoy. You need to be comfortable breathing to both sides.
Sure. What are your top 2 favorite sports movies?
Sports movies. My God, I have so many. I would say definitely I watched Ali. So Muhammad Ali, what a great guy. Blown away by it. And oh my God, I'm trying to think. There's so many good sports movies that, I love Dangal. I watched Saina recently. So any sports movie, especially with an Indian athlete, I haven't watched Mary Kom as yet, and I know her, so I'd love to watch that.
Bhag Milkha Bhag.
Yes, of course. The great Milkha Singh, rest in peace. He passed away recently.
Yeah.
But amazing guy. I got to meet him. I got the Arjuna Award with his son. So those 2 movies are on my to-do list. I think all kids should see it, because we have so many Indian sports people that can inspire us. So why not get our kids to watch it? My kids loved Saina. They just started playing badminton. One of my best friends, Aparna's, was a double Olympian in badminton. So we loved the movie, and they got so excited the next day. They were up on the terrace playing badminton. So we need to encourage our kids to watch those movies and get inspired.
Certainly. All right. What is your favorite sports nutrition and hydration brand?
Definitely FastNap. I'd say that's without a doubt. Hydration is something we didn't know much about. Only before the Olympics, they taught me how to, look at your pee when you go, to make sure you're hydrated enough. And these are all new things for us almost at the Olympic level. Now people are very well aware that not only water, but you need the electrolytes in there.
Certainly.
So I love FastNap because it's not expensive, good flavors. Like when I go for my runs or my swims, I mix it up all the time. They have kids version now, so even younger kids can have it. And at the end of the day, you don't want to hit that wall because you didn't hydrate or didn't eat. So yes, I'm not a big fan of gels. I find it very difficult. I prefer good old-fashioned, a banana or a nice Snickers bar at the end of a long race. But otherwise, I would say FastNap, really, they're doing a lot, I feel, in the sport. Not just for the sports people, but even for general nutrition. So yes, get that for sure.
Yep. All right, last question. What is your favorite sports apparel or shoes brand?
Oh my God, I have so many. Right now, I run mostly Nike because I find them very light. Oh my God, I've got so many. But one of the free runs, I don't have the fancy ones. I don't spend too much of money because I'm not that good. And if I'm at that level where I'm winning podiums regularly, yes, I'll do that. I have a first chance at a team relay podium coming up soon with my running group called Pacemakers in Bangalore. So hopefully that'll be my first running podium as a team. Wow. But I just wear the Nike, anything that's very, very light. I don't like heavy shoes at all. And I just feel like at the end of the day, I have right now we're training as part of Elevate, which is my new venture. We're training somebody called Thomas Bobby Phillip, who's very popular in the running circuit. He's the barefoot runner. So I look at him and I wonder, wow, I must try that someday. But I think of the Indian roads and I'm like, maybe not.
All right. Thank you so much for those beautiful answers. Before we close the show for today, I would want the last parting shots, parting words for our viewers. Why more and more people should start their journey in endurance sports such as swimming or triathlon or running.
Yes. It's great. I see so much of passion and so much of enthusiasm especially in the amateurs, the masters age groups. Sometimes I find, older athletes are much more motivated, intrinsically motivated, where the parents are not dragging you to the sport. You're not stressed with schoolwork. You're doing it because you want to. Even if you have a job, you're getting up early and doing a 25K run or a 50K bike. So it's amazing to me, but I also feel that you need to be very knowledgeable about what you're putting your body through because you don't want to have issues later on in life. So that's why three of us have formed this team where, we're trying to tell athletes, get knowledge first, make sure you recover well, make sure you learn about technique. And a very important thing for all, athletes at all levels is you have to strength train. This is something I wish I had done more of when I was a swimmer. We didn't do any strength training, which is why I had a very bad shoulder issue because we have overuse injuries in swimming. Make sure you see a proper a sports doctor for your rehab and make sure that the strength training is sports specific. So there's no use of you doing something that will not translate into the pool or into your bike. I know people who just start their, long bike rides, they have so many back issues because it's such an unnatural position to go down there on those aero bars. So what I would say is talk to as many people as you want, watch podcasts like this, watch the races, really study your sport, and then you'll enjoy it more because then you can take that and put it into your own practice.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for those.
Nothing at the end of the day, nothing can substitute from really the training, practicing regularly, practicing smart, training smart, resting, and at the end of the day, do it because you love the sport.
Absolutely. Wow, those are some beautiful words from someone coming who's been training for over 30 years now. That's just amazing.
Yes,
you rightly pointed out, the importance of strength and conditioning. Strength training, and I would say stretching as well. So that's something
mobility and flexibility is very important.
Yeah, that is something that we do every week. In fact, all our triathletes and runners in Trifantry need to go through these 2 hours of strength and conditioning workouts, which I personally take on live with the athletes, because when I was training, I understood the importance of strength and conditioning. When you put your body every day through such long endurance hours, it's not getting repaired and it's not getting strengthened as well. So it's very important to build in these strength conditioning programs, stretching, as well as rest, which you rightly highlighted.
Don't neglect it, because I know triathletes have 3 sports to train for.
Yeah.
But you think of the 4th one as strength, and you think that you have to do it.
It has
and
to be
you do it more in off season, but you continue throughout. You can maybe reduce the number of days, but make sure you're doing effective movements. So that's why it's good that you need to have a coach who's guiding you as well. That's most important.
Sure. On that note, thank you so much, Nisha, for doing this.
Thanks,
and
Nisha.
Your time and sharing your valuable 30 years of experience brought down in this 40 minutes. Thank you so much. I wish you the best and hope to see you soon in Bangalore.
Thank you. See you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks.